Start. What's up, man?
Welcome back to another episode, huh?
Yeah, last time you were here, I was like, we were all like in our flannels. It was like still a little bit cold. It was the beginning of May.
Yeah, it was cold.
And then today, though, what you came from 90? What was it?
Over 100.
In St. Louis?
Yeah. But humid as hell.
You.
Yeah, nasty.
So yeah, like before you came over, like, that St. Louis stuff and that heat sounds terrible, but like I don't like hot at all, like at all. Like anything over 75, like I start to feel uncomfortable. So I'm like, you text me like I'm coming over, and I'm like, bro, I gotta go in the pool really quick. I gotta go in the above ground redneck pool and cool myself off because it's 84 degrees and I'm like burning up.
Yeah, a lot of my guys say that, but I'm just like, well, what's the temp now? Because it's like getting cool to me, and it's probably really comfortable for you.
Yeah.
Just because I'm used to the hot.
I don't like that.
I really don't either, to be honest. But we have AC, and you guys don't.
Yeah. Like, so my house on the island, actually, I had good AC, and I kept that 4,000 square foot house like 62 degrees.
Oh my gosh!
All the time.
Dang.
It was perfect for me.
Yeah,
perfect.
That's too cold.
To me, like when I'm asleep at night, I want to see my breath before I like put my blankets on, and then I'm good.
I could go with that. Sleeping cold, yeah, but not chilling out. But I guess if you button up.
You can always fix cold. You put on a sweatshirt,
That's right.
You get a blanket, whatever. Like you can't, like fixing hot is so much harder.
Yeah, you definitely can't do that in public.
No. No.
Where's those passports?
Right there. Like, okay. So this is the deal. I got this thing. I don't even know where I got this thing. It was probably an old like DuPont ICS board or something that existed on the engine or something. I don't know. There's a Chief for a period of time. It was like basically just giving shit away because it was either going to get thrown in the dumpster or whatever. Anyway, I have this thing, and I actually had a sitting right there. I'm not going to show it on camera, but like I had a tag from my engine from a call that I went on that it was a rough call. It was a train call, but it brought up stuff from like 10 years prior, and it set things in motion. And the fact that I have that soft passport from the engine that day, like I don't know, it got lost in my stuff or something, but all of the people that were on that call with me, it's literally sitting right behind you, but like when I found that, I was like, okay, so I think with the podcast, like it would be important that accountability is like a really important thing in the fire service.
Yes.
Like it's fundamental to everything that we're doing all of the time.
Right.
All of the time. Like from the moment the shift starts to running a major incident, whatever. Like so I thought, like, what does it mean if we're maintaining accountability in these high stress environments? It's probably important. Shouldn't we be doing that like all the time, like to some degree? Shouldn't, like, what does accountability look like when we're outside the station, when we're outside that environment? Is it any less important?
Sure.
So I don't know. I was sitting here one night and by myself, like in my space with all the lights on and everything else. Like I was just done a podcast with myself, but I was thinking about how important accountability is, and I had this board hanging in there with this old South Passport over there that came from a call that I felt like I relived a lot, and then I was like, I think it'd be important that like every episode we do, and these are still brand new episodes, every episode we do to just like tag in, like be accountable to each other, you know, for the episode.
Yeah,
like,
that's really cool.
And it doesn't mean that we're accountable to anything else other than the space at the moment, but I think that accountability brings out the truth, right? Like if we're accountable on the fireground when we do our debriefs and hot washes and everything else, it's all like we just tell the fucking truth, right?
Yeah.
We don't say like, well, what I meant to do, what, like, no, you say what you did and how you failed, and because the objective is to get better, right? So accountability. Anyway, I'm rambling.
You're good. So everyone that comes on,
everybody that comes on, I want us to like tag in, like here, like we're in this space right now. So tagged in, we got Chris at the top, and then we got me underneath. And I think I shared this like in a post or whatever, but like I always want to be the one that's underneath as the driver. Like in most, I don't know how you guys do it, but like the driver is the upside down, either underneath the officer, underneath the whole crew.
Yes.
That signifies the person that is in charge of the apparatus.
Sure.
Right? Like, so it's whether it's a ladder, an engine, even a medic unit, whatever. Like, whoever's in charge or whoever's driving and operating and is responsible for all of the equipment on that rig is the person who is upside down. I only want to be the driver in this place. Like, I'm not trying to be in charge or dictate. I feel like I am right now. But like,
no, you're the driver. You're driving.
I'm explaining things.
Yeah.
I'm explaining how you operate on my rig.
I get it. I get what you're saying.
But like, but then the person who's on with me, like, they're above me, upright, and they exist as, you know, in that world is like the company officer, the person that's in charge of that apparatus, or not in charge of the apparatus, but in charge of the crew. So you're in charge of the personnel. I'm in charge of the rig. So I'm driving, you're in charge of the conversation. So you dictate the conversation, and I attempt to drive all of this stuff with like weird technology and stuff that doesn't seem to work ever.
You're doing good.
Anyway.
And you're doing good.
Yeah, so then I pointed out like the folks on the side, like that's in reserve. Like we have these people in reserve too. So like future podcast episodes, Amber and I have done a few. I just need to edit them and put them out there. And then like Noah and I did one, and apparently my mic got saturated with water or something, so it didn't record any sound, and we have to redo that. This is all learning, but anyway, strategic reserve. Like we have support coming. Like the podcast has support coming. Like regardless of what we do today, we know that there's support coming, and that support boosts us even in this episode. So it just illustrates the whole dynamic of what a collective team does, but also what accountability means, you know, and the importance of it.
So who's next?
Actually,
who's next
I got Noah next weekend. We're gonna redo our episode.
Cool.
Man, we talked about some good stuff. We did 3.5 hours, and all of it had no sound for the most part. But we talked about some good stuff, and I think there won't be any problem coming up with more. But
I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah, and then I got some other folks lined up that I was telling you about too. That I just feel like we grew up with a lot of interesting people, you know?
Yeah.
And I just want to hear their stories. Like, it's like, you think of the Joe Rogan podcast. That dude started with, like, his friend Brian Redman. Like, the first handful of episodes were just those two dudes, and then they're just talking about whatever. Like, I just want to talk about what's relevant to like right here, like what's relevant to this place that we all came from. And once we all feel comfortable telling stories about where we came from, I personally like watching other people tell their stories because I find places where I can relate, and then when I can relate, if I choose to, it also allows me to grow, right? Like,
Yeah, learn from other people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the best thing about this job is every day is different.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a 9 to 5. You know, you're not office space. That's what's really cool. And I know all the people that you're going to have on here in the future definitely will have some very good stories, very good life lessons. And, you know, we all can learn from each other. It never stops. That's, you know, some of us are still doing the job, some of us are not.
Mm-hmm.
But still, it's the same foundational life lessons, you know,
Mm-hmm.
that we grew up with in the fire service. I'm excited for you to get some other types of folks on here eventually too, like maybe some nurses or stuff like that.
Sure. I have like, there's stuff on the schedule that involves, there's some nurses, there's actually some mental health professionals. Like I'm really eager to talk to, like, I know the fire service really well, but like in the last few years dabbling in the mental health world, oh boy, is there a lot to talk about there too. You know, there's systems and, you know, checking boxes and helping people, checking boxes and doing the right thing is like that's not always a linear thing. It's not always like mutually exclusive. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like it's maddening sometimes. And so yeah, I have at least one person on the schedule. Like we're going to talk about that type of stuff. Like what's broken there? Like what can we fix? And I don't know. To me, I really want to talk about that. Like what's broken and how can we make things better? Like we like everybody that I talk to, everybody that's interested in having a conversation here, like our interest is only in, we're not trying to glorify ourselves. We're trying to be like, what is it that we can do to make things better? How can we make our operations better to be better helpers and stewards of humanity?
Took the word right out of my mouth. Right when I was thinking stewards, you said it. That was cool.
That's good.
That's like that's definitely the truth, man. Because the system is broke, and I feel that it only takes folks like you talk to on a daily basis, and that I know, we help each other because we know the system is kind of flawed, right?
Yeah.
And so I mean that's a good start right off the bat, because we know there's nothing we could do on a strategic level, but at a tactical level we're taking care of each other, and we know what the flaws are. So keep driving this conversation. More people hear this, you know, from other people's perspective, and maybe that's when the change will happen.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I think it's about like I know you experience this all the time, like I did, well, in both jobs. Like you walk into rooms and there's like 40 fucking elephants stacked in the corner, like stuff that's not being talked about, right? Like, why are we doing this? Because that seems to be harmful to the people that we're trying to help, or whatever. Like we can come up with all kinds of scenarios and examples and things that we've experienced.
Right.
But like, if we don't throw our cards on the table and have a conversation about the stuff that's like that I would define as fuckery, then, like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Yeah.
And the only way to throw your cards on the table is to have an honest, truthful conversation. So when we come up here, we check into the accountability board and we say, like, let's just fucking tell the truth. Let's say what we feel, which is our truth. But let's also, like, let's try to use as much objective analysis as possible to decipher, like, the worst thing I've ever heard in my life is, like, we do this because it's always been done that way. That's retarded.
Yeah.
Sorry if I offended anybody by using that word retarded, but, like, that's retarded.
That drives me insane.
It really is
people
retarded.
say that.
Like, it really is retarded. Like, the definition of retarded, like, that's retarded. Like, we retard the systems, we retard the things that we're trying to do in terms of progression by by operating from this place of, like, well, we always did it that way.
Yeah, that's horrible. You don't learn that way.
No, there's no learning in staying safe and staying in the place that's like, well, that's what we do, so let's check those boxes. I'm like, okay, well, the policy manual doesn't, I haven't seen a policy that addresses this thing that I'm encountering. So I get that we've always done it that way, but suddenly I'm encountering something that we haven't done before. So how are we supposed to address that?
Well, the only way to fix that is if the person on the receiving end of that message actually fully understands the whole background of the question. Right? And not everyone is going to. So how do we, as people that know the answer and know how it should be fixed, educate those that maybe don't know, that are actually on the system end, that just don't see it that way? That's what's going to drive the changes, when those people understand fully the whole picture, right, of some of those items that we talked about earlier outside of this podcast, for them to even understand.
That's its own skill, right? Is, like, figuring out how to navigate.
I don't know, was that the solution for the problem right there? To educate these people that are driving the train on the system, or what?
Well, look, we were having a conversation earlier about, like, my current work environment and how I would sit in these clinical roundtables and I'm like, hey, what do we do about this? And, like, silence, like crickets, like no answers. And I'm like, why do we not know these things? Why have we not considered these things? And it's because we operate from systems that are outdated. Like, we're constantly operating from outdated systems.
Okay.
We're not, what we should be doing is constantly evaluating whether our system is still applicable. And if it's not, we need to tailor it to something different. Like, the best innovators, the best business people, you look at the businesses that have gone under, it's the businesses that go under, like the big businesses, like, I don't have any major examples, but, like, is Old Navy still a thing? I don't know.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so, like, but, like, businesses that don't figure out how to not do the same thing over and over and over are the ones that continue to succeed. It's no different, I think, in our world where we're trying to help people. Like, if we're trying to operate from these systems, like, if we continue to operate from the systems that we always operated from, I would be taught how to do lobotomies right now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's insane.
Yeah.
It's insane to stay there. Like, we should every fucking day be asking, like, how can we make this better? Like, I don't know how to exist. Like, when I go through my house, like, how can I make this system a little bit better? Whether it's like washing the dishes or, like, whatever it is. Like, how can I streamline this just a little bit more? Because if I kept doing it the same way all the time, it's like the results are what you know. But, like, the world doesn't operate that way. It's constantly evolving. Like, evolution is a real thing. So we either get on board with that and figure out how to keep up with the times in a in an objective, high altitude fashion, or we just keep doing the same stuff with the same results that continue to degrade, because the world's moving and the systems aren't.
Well, and it always goes back to the stigma, and we touched on this in our last episode together. It's a stigma too, right? Like you said, there's check boxes, there's the people in place, but the people in place really don't know fully what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
That's another problem with the system.
Well, like, you get into a system and you're trained.
I was just gonna say we need to turn the light on. What if you like turned it up? Like just turn it on at the back. There you go. That's way better. Perfect. Yeah.
What?
Oh, squirrel.
Systems. Turn them upside down. Something.
Dang it.
Anyway.
It's frustrating. Just knowing the system's flawed right off the bat, but there's a huge problem.
Well, but it takes there's a whole learning curve about learning about the system. So like once you get into the system, like you remember when you're brand new on the job, you're like, whatever you tell me to do, I'm gonna do it, and you just follow it, like essentially blindly. Like school, like, I don't want to get into all this, but like our school systems are the same way. Like our kids go to school and it's like line up, go over here, do that. Like there's no, like, I don't know. I feel like we lack the ability to, or we lack the space to ask questions about things, right? Like we would blindly follow because in our world, like,
we rely on leadership.
we have to operate in a very disciplined, organized fashion because like you just have to. So order and discipline, it makes all the sense in the world in that environment, and you just do it. But also, like, I think about this with my son. If I tell him to do something if I tell him to do something, he's going to do it. But if I tell him to do something with an explanation, there's some buy-in to doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Now remember, that always wasn't like that.
No.
There was no buy-in. It was just do as you're told.
Sure.
That's an evolutional thing that's evolved over the years.
Right? And
we could shift into that topic.
We could. I feel that way at my own work right now. Like, I feel like if I was provided more information about why we need to do something a certain way, but also how that would benefit a client or a patient, then I'd be like, okay, I get it. But I don't get that. Instead, I get like a lot of, well, it's because it's always been done that way, or because the system requires these boxes to be checked. I'm like, okay, but that's violating like rule number 1 for us ethically, which is, look it up. Do no harm. Like do no harm. Is that should be the form of measurement with every rule that exists. Do no harm. Instead, like, what what do our policy manuals look like? Is it about do no harm, or is it about like make sure the system is honored and served and satisfied first? You know, like make sure that
Just seeing at the time that
it's okay. I think the pauses are good sometimes. Because I want to make sure I'm using the right words. Like we're trying to be helpful. Like we have a calling to help people, and within that calling, we run into these structures or rigid rules or checkboxes or whatever that like just feels like I need to satisfy that so that I can keep my job or make sure the department or the operation's functioning properly, but I also feel like this is harming
I was just gonna say that's
people along the way.
whether the folks don't realize it or not, it is, yes, right. But it goes back to do no harm. But at the same time, when you're not thinking about the whole picture, it could harm somebody.
So what's the solution for that?
I don't know. Probably serve in the capacity that you served all those years, and then the other side of the book where you're at now. That's the best thing about this whole podcast you're starting, is because you know both sides. You know what it's like to be, you know, pushed day in and day out at work, but on now the other side, you know how to fix that or attempt to help fix that, right? That's really cool. Not everybody has that when they're the listener in the system, typically. Typically you don't have that. You don't have someone that's been on the streets and gone through all the stuff. That should be like a requirement in this.
Honestly, I'd like
The whole mental health system. You should have been on the shit, in the shit, to know how to help the shit.
I think about that all the time. Like, even today, like, look, most of my clients are, and I'm working in community mental health, so it's not like, I just feel like there's not a lot of therapy that actually gets done. It's more like social work, and that's fine. Like, I'm good at that because I feel like I'm helping people, and I feel like I'm good at that job. Like, I know that I'm helping people, and that's rewarding. I needed that. I needed to rejoin that version of something that I needed.
Yeah.
But man, at the same time, it's like there's all these structures and systems in place that, like, if I could do this all by myself outside of this system, I would know exactly how to help you, you know?
Right.
But I have to operate here because this is the format that we have. And it's the same with fire. Like,
There's more than one way to skin a cat.
yeah, and so because there's more than one way to skin a cat, you can't have a policy about skinning a cat that tells you how to skin a cat.
Right.
Like, it's just like
Do you think that will ever change? Do you think the system will truly ever change?
which system?
The mental health system of getting treatment. From what you've seen in your experience in your clinicals, do you think that big government will ever really step in and truly help? Now, there are some facets within that yes, there is some avenues to get like legit help, but overall, do you ever see that changing? for positive for everybody, no matter what, like community health, whatever, military, fire, first responders in general, I guess.
I think it changes when we acknowledge that operating from the same systems over and over and over again isn't the way to go. Like, I think it's true for both the fire service and for the mental health world. Like, if we're trying to keep things in the same box and operate with this ever evolving demand that's legitimate, like, we're fooling ourselves. We can't keep up with that with the current operating system. It's like trying to do Zoom and Facebook Messenger and WhatsApp and watch your security cameras and everything else on your computer with Windows 95.
Right. Yeah.
Windows 95 would fucking crash the first program I opened up that exists today. You know what I'm saying? Like, it couldn't tolerate that. There's a reason that our phones are updating and our computers are updating all the time. If those systems are updating all the time, like, why aren't we updating our own systems? Why aren't we, like, throwing all of our fucking cards on the table once a week and saying, is this still working?
That's a good question.
And if it's not, then we need to evaluate how to change it. The mental health system is retarded. I'm not saying that people are retarded. I'm just saying, like, retarded, look up the definition. It's retarded. It's stunted. It's held back. It's not where it should be. Like, we're serving systems and not serving the people. And I think in many ways the fire service is better at it, though, because we have a bunch of people that, like, they exist in a realm of, like, I'm just here to do the right thing. I'm just like, and they're smart. They're fucking wicked smart.
Mm-hmm.
The smartest people I know are firefighters. Like, in all of my experiences, I don't care what settings I've ever been in, and it's been a lot, but the place I feel most comfortable and the most taken care of and the most watched out for is when I'm amongst firefighters. Because you see everything. You see a little bit of everything.
Well, and you have to live it together, too.
Yes.
Yeah. That's a big part.
And that grows you.
Absolutely.
Like,
because you all just, it's like one big cesspool of learning.
There's the accountability, right? Like, when you're, like, we're always holding each other accountable in that setting.
Mm-hmm.
As we should. And I wish I could take the fire service model and just apply it to every other, like, I'm annoying where I work right now because I'm like, we could be doing things better. And I get that comes from the place that I came from, like, a highly professional environment where, like,
fresh perspective is always good.
it is.
But unfortunately, there's a lot of people that don't want that because they're so just stuck in their, that's just the way it's always been, mind. Mm-hmm. And that's really annoying.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think that people stay, like, stuck?
Either they just don't know what they don't know, or they just genuinely don't care. They're just there for the money and the position of having a job, not necessarily having a status position, but I'm just saying, like, maybe they're just happy to work and whatnot, but really don't understand.
Sure, because we're all like, the goal is to grow up and get a job and have a career and be able to pay your bills and do all the normal things, right?
Sure, yeah.
But what happens if we, like, suddenly ask ourselves, Is that the only reason we're here?
I mean, a lot of people, I'm sure, operate like that. I know you and I don't.
Yeah,
a lot of the people that we know, they don't just hang back and just take the easy road.
Yeah.
They challenge life.
Right.
And try to improve it, and try to improve it for others around.
And in the history of time, like, who are the people that exist in history that we hear about, talk about? They're always the people that went against the grain.
Yeah.
It's never the people that just
showed up,
fell in line and did what they were told.
Right. It's always somebody that challenged the system. Or just challenged, period. So my last commander that I had, I talked to her today, just prepping, for tomorrow and whatnot. She's like, she's taken over. She just got promoted to colonel, and she's taken her own command. And she's like, I'm going to use your line. I'm like, what line is that? She's like, what is my line? That's really sad. I brought it up as my own line. I can't even think of it. Oh, it's okay. It's okay to be salty, but it's not okay to be toxic. Salty as in, like, I'm one of those that challenges and I speak up for other people and I tell it how it is type of thing. And I've always got a lot of pushback in my career, but at the end of the day, I end up explaining, this is why I'm challenging this, kind of like what you're doing in your clinicals, and you're challenging the people that are just the normal. That's just the way it's always been. It's going to take people to challenge others to fix things.
Comes with a cost, though.
Yeah, very huge cost. I don't know. Maybe that's just life. That's just maybe how it is.
It's fine. Like, I feel like yeah, man, I had to, like, just figure out how to pay for groceries recently. And, like, I know it looks like I have a lot of stuff, but I have a lot of leftover stuff from the time that I was a little bit more well off, And I hold on to those things because I don't have the means at the moment, and I get that it's a season. Like, I'll get out of that. But I also, like, I very much value it too, like it teaches, like, and also, like, the clients that I see, they're not, most of them are homeless, most of them are on some type of drug, many of them are, schizophrenic. I feel like our diagnosis in the mental health were very subjective, so I have my own issue with that, but, like, they're maybe the hardest, most challenged people in society, and I value spending time with them, because if I can understand where they're at, then the box checking it's maddening. Like, it's just maddening. Like, there's so many ways that we could be doing things better. And I'm not saying I have all the answers, but I'm saying that I can, with my simple mind, I can see things that's like, why are we still doing it this way? And I feel that way with all of the system. It's like, it may not be the fire service itself that's so much the problem, but sometimes the governing entities, whether it's a municipality or a board of fire commissioners or whatever, if they don't understand what it is that we're doing, we're operating in this place that's like, we're never going to get ahead. We're just going to stay stagnant, which, especially for people like us, like, it's super defeating, because we're trying to make things better. Like, the objective is always to try to make things better.
Yep.
And if we're not doing that, like if we don't feel like we're accomplishing that, then it starts to feel toxic. It starts to feel unnatural. It starts to feel like abrasive to our mission.
Well, I'm just glad I got you in my life because I know that you'll always challenge the system and you're in it.
My struggle right now is trying to temper my anger and my own baggage that I carry into things with like with what I know needs to be challenged, you know? Like I don't want to go into that, so I'm not trying to, I don't want to kick in a door, but I want to send a message, you know? Like my favorite quote from any movie, which I use all the time, from Batman Begins. Bruce Wayne is on the plane talking to Alfred. He's like, sometimes people need dramatic examples to shake them of their apathy. You know, and I don't want to be like dramatic example all the time, but I'm just like, man, there's like, what are we doing? Like, are we helping humans? Are we like making ourselves feel good about thinking that we're helping humans while we're serving ourselves?
Yeah.
If we can constantly evaluate that and be truthful about it, which is accountability, like if we can constantly do that, then we're serving the right mission. The mission should never be about what somebody tells us the mission is. The mission should be about like what have we been through that teaches us that we should be, how we should take care of other people, how we should serve other people. Like it's all about service for us. Like don't tell me how to do my service.
Right.
You know, don't tell me how to take care of other people. Like I know how to have a session with a client in a room. I know how to, like, give me a fucking pre-connect and I swear to God I'll still beat most people on a drill ground. Like give me those parameters to work within, but don't tell me how to do all of that. Don't tell me exactly how to pull that pre-connect. Show me what it is. Tell me where I need to put it on my shoulder and what flake I need to grab and how I need to pull it out. After that, let me fucking do my job. Like I'm gonna do it my own way that makes it work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody does it a little bit differently.
Yep.
It's the same with my clients. Like, don't tell me how to go in a room with them, and don't tell me that I need to go in a room with them and type on a computer while I'm talking to them. Because if I'm typing on a computer while I'm talking to them, do they feel like I'm listening?
Absolutely not.
Why are we doing that? Well,
Right.
That's called dual documentation. We're supposed to do dual documentation so that we can make sure that our documentation is done at the same time our client session is done, so that we can take on a new one and keep feeding this system. But the feedback that I've gotten from clients, because I don't do that, I refuse to do that. I even stated that openly to the people supervising me, like I'm not going to do that because, well, they asked me like, well, why wouldn't you do that? And I said, because if you did that to me, I would get the fuck up and walk out. Like I want to know that when I'm investing the energy to come into a place to talk about myself and be vulnerable,
Yeah.
which takes a lot of fucking energy, man. A lot of fucking energy.
100%.
That I'm being heard, that I'm being listened to. Like maybe you're not hearing me and maybe you're not listening to me, but I at least want to know that it looks like you are. You know what I'm saying? If I'm typing on a computer, there's no way that you know or that you think that I'm listening to you. You think that I'm satisfying a bunch of checkboxes.
Yeah.
So I refuse to do that.
And that's good.
But it comes at a cost. Like, it all comes at when you challenge the systems, when you don't do it the way that you're supposed to be doing it. It's like you're putting yourself out there.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, at least you know you're doing the right thing.
Well, and that's it. Like,
so right now, like, there's nothing. You got nothing to lose. So drive that home right now while you have that, right?
Sure. I think that's a place that we should all operate from, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, we should make sure that, like, of course we all want things. Like we all want to have, like, I want to own a house again. I want to, like, I want to have working vehicles again. I want to have all of that stuff that I used to have when I used to make a bunch of money. But also, I'm not going to I'll never let the money drive me. Like, I'll never let the status, the money, like, I let all that stuff drive me before. I don't want to do that again. Because I feel like it compromises a part of me, you know?
Well, it does everybody, right? It goes back to those, well, that's the way it's always been. That's why, because people are comfortable with what they have, and they don't want to lose it, so they're not going to say anything.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it comes down to. But there's also tactful ways of bringing stuff up and educating at the same time. And most of the time, if that person is in their right mind, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, maybe he's right, or maybe she's right, or whatever. You know what I mean? But then you're always going to have those that are going to be like, no.
I think.
So you're making a movement right now with what you're doing. You're challenging the system, right? You're finding ways to make it right. But I guarantee you that's going to rub off on other people that you work with, and they're going to start doing that, and then it's just going to drive a huge culture change of how things are done.
I hope so.
Well, that's how it starts on anything, right? Is the buy-in for other people, and if they are on board with what you're doing or not. I feel like you're doing the right thing. You're giving 100% to the person that you're seeing.
Yeah, there's a, like, in my cubicle, there's a, like, I have a little message board just as I walk out that says, like, the client is the priority at all costs. Like, there's nothing that's more, well, like, we had a in our I'm thinking about if I want to bring this up because I hesitate to, like, so we had a clinical roundtable today. It was like, we're addressing how to, like, how to deal with a client who's, like, they don't show up for sessions on a regular basis. And so, like, well, how do we deal with that? Like, do we just discharge them because they're not showing up, or do we, like, what do we do? So, like, there's multiple ways to look at that, though, and that was all brought up while we were discussing it. It's like, do we look at that from, like, well, for some of us, especially as interns, it's like we need hours. Like, we need direct client hours. So if we have clients who are not showing up all the time, like, it does affect our hours. Like, I know interns that are having a hard time, like, getting their clinical hours because of all the no-shows. But we're working in community mental health, so, like, granted, you're gonna have a lot of no-shows. There's drugs, there's homelessness, there's transportation issues, there's all these things that prevent people from coming in. And so I brought up today, it's like, I know from my own experience, like, it took a lot of energy for me to go into a session. So I give the respect to that person. Like, if maybe they don't have the energy for it that day, it sure, it sucks about, like, I'm not getting my hours or whatever. But what we need to be evaluating it, like, what are we asking that we're trying to serve here? Is it, like, Are we trying to serve the client's best interest? Are we trying to serve myself to make sure that I get the hours that I need so that I can graduate? Or are we serving the system to make sure that the insurance criteria is satisfied?
Right.
Like, all of those things can be done, but like, what's the priority? What's the hierarchy of how we're going to operate? And if we're not talking about those things all the time, if we're not like, what is it that we're doing here? You know, like my friends at DuPont, like, what are we doing here? Are we serving a community? And what's the best way to serve our community? Well, like, probably let's start with good morale. Like, how do we build good morale to make sure that we're serving the community? If we don't have good morale, like, what does that look like then? Like, if we're all fucking bitter and just angry about our job, but doing it because it serves our lifestyle.
Yeah.
Like, anyway, my message is like, we should like, every time we go out on the drill ground and run a single company evolution on a house fire, we don't think that the first time we did that is the best time we ever did it. Like, the first time we did that, it's like, that's good enough. Let's just stick with that. No, we fucking do that over and over and over, and every single time we learn about things that, like, no, we should do that better next time. Like, that's a little thing, like a little tweak, like, I forgot to communicate this, or you didn't grab that, or whatever it is. You know, I forgot to say that on the radio, like, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But the only way you do that is to do it over and over and over and throw your cards on the table and tell the fucking truth about it. It's like Pete Carroll, right, when he's coaching the Seahawks, he had like Tell the Truth Monday or whatever, right? So after their game, the first practice after the game, they came in and it was like, let's just tell the truth about what happened. Did it work? Did what we did work? Is it my fault? Sometimes it's my fault. Sometimes it's, you have all of these variables going on, but like, let's just tell the truth because that's the only way to get better.
Yep. Put it out on the table.
Mm-hmm. I've been rambling. What do you got?
Yeah, but it's all good stuff.
I know, but I don't want to make this all about me. I want to make it about my guests too. I know that like we're just getting started and I have like shit to vent about.
That's okay.
And that's the whole thing. Like, anybody who's ever with me right here, like you two, like, if I'm saying something stupid, challenge me on it. Like, that's
Accountability. I got you. No, the system needs to be challenged. And I'm glad you're doing what you're doing.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, like, I have a, there's, yeah, there's some people that I know that have resigned or quit jobs or been fired or whatever, and I'm like, why don't you come on here and let's talk about what that was. You know, what was the breakdown? You know, like, and I'll be on, like, I want to push people, like, how much of that was your doing versus how much of that was, you know, like, maybe a system fucking you, you know? And it's almost in all situations a little bit of both. Maybe it's 70-30% one way or the other, but it's always a little bit of both. But we should be like, well, okay, here's what I did wrong. Maybe I can do this better next time. But also, like, the systems need to be able to evolve and grow as well. If I'm willing to say, like, okay, how can I get better? Shouldn't the system also do that?
Yeah. I don't know, man. I know I left the fire service because of the toxicity, and nobody wanted to jump on the change, and everybody was just like bickering at each other. It was just a toxic place where I worked. My last place that I worked. Terrible place.
Why was it toxic, do you think?
Everybody just was negative, and
Where do you think that came from, though?
it's definitely a leadership issue.
Mm-hmm.
Typically, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in my realm, we had our own office away from the operations, but then we also had leaders that were absent and not fully engaged in their team,
Right.
or had a leader making people accountable and they didn't like that.
Yeah.
And then they would push back on, whatever. When I left the union, it was hard working with not being in the shop, but on the same team, you know what I mean? When I became more up on the administrative side of the firehouse.
Sure.
That was a big challenge in the department that I came from. That was rough. And I didn't like it because I like to be one team.
Mm-hmm.
Try to get people to jump on board, get better, process improvement, but that's the way it's always been done type of mentality. So.
Right, so there's the trick is like when we see, first we have to see it.
But then it made me bitter too, though. Like
Sure.
that toxicity, like made me more angry, not like lashing out and hurting people, but just frustrated and angry, and that would carry over into my home life. I didn't sleep well. I just didn't like where my life was,
Mm-hmm.
Not being there now, looking back on it, man, I'm totally glad I left. Like that work balance, harmony
Mm-hmm.
is so much better now that I don't have to freaking listen to people always just so negative all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Because that rubbed off on me too.
Where do you think the negative energy came from?
I don't know, just everybody being negative. I mean, if you're subjected to something for long enough, whether you know it or not, you're going to probably fall into that same realm unless you identify and just get out of there.
So
Sometimes you just have to leave.
Sure, and look, I think that's something we should all acknowledge from the get-go is like, if this ever becomes so toxic that it's become detrimental or negative to my mental health, my physical well-being in any way, like, why do I stick this out? Like, we should, like, that's our own cards on the table with ourselves.
Yeah.
Right? Like, what am I doing?
I finally did it.
Yeah.
So, I'm
Well,
done.
but then also, like, of course, it's a retrospective analysis, but like, if we're looking at it, like, what if we had good leadership that built a good culture? Like, would I still feel this way? Because you know that there's a potential for that. If you have the right leaders in place, if you have the right mindset that exists, that whole, like, I get that we have a policy manual, but like, fuck that, we're gonna call it guidelines, and then I'm just gonna hand you a card that says do the right thing. Like, man, like, to exist in that environment you have a little bit more freedom to grow, because your failures aren't failures, they're growth. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And in those environments, those are the places, like if you have like proper accountability, you do get to constantly, like, you kitchen table upstairs in the firehouse, and you throw the cards on the table and, like, okay, what can we do better? Like, what did I do wrong? You know, like, even if the chief or the boss or the whoever is like, my whole thing is like, I'm gonna do performance evals on all of my firefighters, but, like, are my firefighters doing a performance eval on me too? You know what I'm saying? Like, shouldn't it also go uphill?
100%.
Like, shouldn't, like, I want to, even if I don't like the feedback, shouldn't I hear that?
Yes.
So that I know how to, like, I can either be a leader who tells people what to do. It's like, there's that meme, it's like the guy with, like, the Egyptian, like, a leader is like, you're either a manager or a leader. I'm fucking that all up, but, like, the dude's like whipping people to, like, get him to do stuff, and then the other guy's like at the front of the harness, like, pulling the brick or whatever. You know, like, you're either leading by example or you're leading by dictating. You know, like,
yes.
I felt like, and I'm not saying I was perfect or anything, but, like, I tried to operate from a place when in the fire world, like, as an officer, like, I would never ask anybody to do something that they haven't observed me doing. I would never say, like, not that you didn't know that I did it, but, like, you observed me doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes.
I want to know your position. I want you to know my position. Like, if we can all know each other's position and know, like, what we need to be doing in those positions, like play musical chairs in the engine, like the driver switches to the third and the third switches to the front, like, we're operating, like, that's the only place that, like, if everybody knows what everybody else needs to be doing, that's the only way that you get to, like, truly anticipate each other's needs and flow with a rhythm.
Have you done that before?
Fuck yes.
Yeah, so I did that as a young officer too, and that was really eye-opening, but it was actually really fun.
Yes.
It was a great time.
Yes. Like, I'm not trying to be your boss. I'm trying to be, like, the best leaders are not managers, they're servants.
Yeah.
They're servants to the people that they're leading.
Right.
Like, I want to make you better at this job than I've ever been. And if I'm driving that, then I know that every fucking call we show up on, like, man, we're gonna rock that. You know what I'm saying? Because I know that you can do my job and I can do your job. Like, we're all just flowing. Like, we don't have, like, the best fire scene to show up at is showing up with your crew that you've trained with enough, so much that, like, the only time I'm going to communicate with you is to tell you that we're doing something different than other than what we've trained to do. Like, we've trained to do this over and over and over and over. So when we show up, everybody's doing their thing. The only time I'm going to talk to you is if we're doing something different than we thought we're going to be doing based on our training. Like, that's just, like, that like, it's practice. Like, you have to practice that stuff. And the only, like, practice involves throwing the cards on the table and saying what you did wrong. Throwing the cards on the table and saying where things are broken. Like, what checkbox do we need to fucking throw out the window and not check anymore? Because it's retarded.
Yep.
I keep using that word. I'm sorry. I'm probably offending people. But look up the word. Like, stunting growth. Anyway.
Yeah, we need to do a leadership talk
Yeah?
on the next one.
Oh boy, I got lots to say about leadership.
Dude, same. And like you said earlier, I'm not trying to toot my own horn either, but I became a good leader because I learned from all the shitty ones that I had.
For sure.
I was like, I'm not doing that to somebody.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes our best lessons are learning what not to do.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. Yeah, I'm excited for this possible new chapter that I could be coming into.
You should be.
Because it's like you said earlier, man, I just hope everyone is just better than what I was, you know. Like the student is better than the sensei type thing. Mentality.
Well, if you have the right sensei, the student should always be better than the sensei. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I want my son to be way better than I've ever been ever in life. Like that should be the objective with all of it. You know? Like I'm not trying to teach you how to work under me. I'm trying to teach you how to surpass me.
Yes.
Because if you're able to surpass me, then even if you don't yet, man, we're functioning high. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a high level of functioning.
Yep.
That like even with my son, it's like he challenges me on things that irritate the living shit out of me, but I also appreciate. Like I want you to challenge me on those things. Like you should be challenged. You should know why. You should know the whys. You should have answers to your whys. Like it's annoying as shit sometimes, but like I know that the best version of him exists when he has his whys satisfied. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's just a generational thing too.
Sure. And for us acknowledging that like the world that these kids are growing up in is way different than the world that we grew up in. And the world that we grew up in is way different than what our parents grew up in.
Yep.
And so on and so forth.
Evolution.
Yes. So that's why you can't stay stuck in, because we've always done it that way.
Right. I've seen leaders just continue down that path and didn't really want to understand the generational differences. And that kind of happened to me, like, I don't know, it was probably into my third year of having my own crew, running my own crew. And I started getting these kids in that are just always asking questions like, why are we doing that? Blah, 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 blah. And that's not the generation that I came into, like in the fire service / military. It's like, just do what you're told and you'll understand why later.
Well, you don't ask questions.
But then I
just do the job.
But then I also saw I was asking questions to my superiors at one point. So I was like, damn. Yeah, people need to know why. And because that changed. There was a strong shift from the time that you and I came into the fire service and before we left the fire service. There was a huge shift of that.
Sure.
Why? With the younger generation.
Yeah.
Because they're smart.
Yeah, they are.
They're smart dudes.
They have instant access to all knowledge now. We didn't have that before.
No,
We used to have to go to the library and check out a book to want to learn something, or rely on what we were told.
Yeah.
Completely. Now it's like, oh, you're gonna tell me this? Well, I'm gonna Google that really quick and make sure that you're telling me the truth.
Absolutely.
That's fucking annoying and brilliant at the same time.
Yeah. So are we on a leadership topic now, or what?
I guess so.
I'll tell you what, though, man. The best leaders learn from their subordinates.
Yes. Servant leaders. You have to have feedback. Like, sure. So I've had supervisors that are like, here's your eval, and I'm like, but like, well, even in my current situation, I'm like, well, when do I get to eval you? You know, like I feel like even if I'm wrong or misguided, shouldn't you be willing to listen to my feedback?
Yeah, sure.
Especially if I'm 44 years old and I've already had a whole nother career and everything else, like, shouldn't you be willing to listen to my feedback? I'm not saying that my way's right, but, like, should you at least entertain it?
Yeah. Are you getting pushback? Are you asking those questions? Like, are you asking to eval the folks that are supervising you during this journey of internship?
Sure. Yeah, I'd like, yeah, it's hard for me to, like, I know the environment I'm in now is different than the environment that I'm used to. So maybe I have to handle things a little bit differently. And, like, you know, I served as a union president for a long time, so I know how to be, like, challenging and pushy and all that, but, like, like I was saying earlier, like, there's an art to, first you gotta figure out what the parameters are that you're really working with, and then decipher how to challenge that stuff without costing your ability to challenge that stuff, if that makes sense. Like, if I push too hard, nobody's gonna listen to me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But if I push at the right push, then ideally, you know, my messages are being heard. And it doesn't mean that my messages are right. It just, like, it just means that, like, we should always be looking for this place of, like, shouldn't we try to make things better all the time? Like, every time I organize all my nonsense in there, like, I'm always trying to make it a little bit better than it was before. I'm always trying to make it look a little bit better, look a little bit cooler, like, a little bit more comfortable, whatever. Like, we're always, the goal of the universe is to decrease entropy at all costs, right? Like, to just, like, we're the goal is utopia.
Right.
No problems.
Yeah.
So how do we get there? Like, we only get there by talking about the stuff we're not doing right, and being not subjective about it, but objective about it. Like, okay, we can talk around things, or we can figure out how to make things better.
Yep. We're either going to change it or we're not.
Yes. Yeah, so, okay. We can cut this off now, but, like, let's talk leadership. Let's just deconstruct leadership. I'm curious to hear your experiences, like,
oh, yeah,
in both of the worlds.
Yeah, because it's a combo world.
Sure. But leadership, management, service to others, like, I don't know. I feel like we haven't, the way that those things are defined exists way in the past, and we need to catch up. Which is, I literally, I even have a deck of cards. I haven't thought about, like, because that's my, like, I say this all the time. Amber hears me say this all the time. Like, let's just throw our deck of cards on the table and have sprinklers and have a conversation about it. So, like, I have this deck of cards. Like if I need to ever be dramatic here, I'm just gonna take these cards out, just throw them on. What are we working with? What's our hand?
Yeah.
You know?
Full house.
Or a bunch of nothing. And how do we
turn it into something?
How do we turn it into something? Exactly.
Yeah, it sucks we got to cut it short, but
No, it's good.
I'm tired. It's midnight my time.
We went over the amount of time that we went last time, so
Well, On video, anyway.
Yeah, on video. It's okay. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if, like, even if these are 30-minute sessions or whatever, like, I firmly believe that there's value, like, I find value in listening to other people have conversations about things that I'm interested in, because it allows me to, we should all be striving to get as many perspectives as possible.
Yes.
You know, and the only way, or not the only way, I think one of the best ways to get there is to listen to other people talk about it in a way that, like, we can talk about it here, nobody's interrupting us. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can have a conversation. We're not sitting around a table in some office where we feel like we have to, you know, mince our words. Like, we probably still do that a little bit here, but, like, also, like, we're having a candid conversation that isn't scripted or anything. Like, we're talking about the stuff that we feel feelings about. And I think when other people listen to that and hear that, like, even if they get one snippet, 1 second of something out of an hour conversation that helps them see a perspective from a different angle, then good, that's it. That's the mission.
That's all I care about too, yeah.
Like, you help one person with one thing, that's it. Like, I feel that way with my clients. Like, I oftentimes feel like I'm not making any progress or we're not getting anywhere. But, like, if I treat every session and every conversation that I have with somebody, like, if there's an opportunity to plant a seed or to address something that maybe hasn't otherwise been addressed. I don't know. There's 100 things that we could say about, like, if there's something that can be inspiring about a conversation, which I think there are many things that can be inspiring about conversation, especially these, like, nobody's fucking with us. Nobody's fucking with us. Like we're just talking like two dudes. Because, and that was the whole thing, like, when I was doing these sessions, I would do mock therapy sessions with people earlier in grad school and I literally ended up using, like, not using, but, like, asking people to participate, friends of mine that I met at Maryland, you know? So I'd do Zoom sessions with Mike,
right,
you know, stuff like that for these mock sessions. And I'm like, when I play it back, I'm like, everybody needs to hear this. Like, maybe not everybody, but, like, I feel like there's a lot of value in the stuff that we're discussing. So it's like, why not just record the really cool conversations that we have with each other?
Yeah.
Put it out there.
Yeah.
If it helps, cool. Like, that's, like, if like one little bit of help, like, mission, call it a mission success. If it doesn't help anybody, it doesn't hurt anybody.
Right.
But it's helping us. Like, every time you and I have a conversation, every time I have a conversation with anybody sitting here at this table, like, we're better after we walk away. Like, that's the point of, like, throwing the cards on the table.
I really appreciate coming here because I don't live here and I didn't work around here, but did the same job somewhere else. So there's a lot of perspective to feed back off of each other on, and different things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's cool that I have this opportunity to come here and talk to the same guy, but not from the same place, or doesn't live in the same place.
Yeah, you're
type of thing, you know.
You're a forever regular guest. Like, you're the first guest, and you know, every time you're in town, even if we, like, I feel like we'll probably do some Zoom sessions, you know, but, like, regular conversation, regular dialogue, even between you and I, recorded or not, is valuable to you and I.
Oh, it's always good.
You know?
It's always good. We have great conversations, and it kind of brings you back, you know, for me, it level sets sometimes, you know. Just level sets everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I like it. I'm really excited to hear about what you and Noah talk about.
Oh man, my favorite thing with Noah is just talking shit to him. He's a bad shit talker, and I'm just like, yeah. Noah and I are great because we're so different. We're just different human beings, but like, man, we could flow together too. Like we could and it was like the perfect marriage. like it's fun. So these hoses here that I have set up, this was intentional. Like there's times where this is the male side, there's the female side over there. Noah and I were able to operate in both dynamics all the time, and but also at Stillgan we got to kind of do it our way. We got to create the whole thing.
Yeah, that was really cool.
And
that you guys were able to do that.
What a great learning experience, right?
Oh yeah.
To be in that place, and also
well, you guys had a lot of impact on a lot of people's lives that are still doing the job today. That's really cool. That's awesome.
The thing that I'm most proud about of my career is not my career or my helmets that I have in there or anything else. It's telling me about my friend Holbrook that stopped by. It's the people that I got to
the journey.
Like Johnny Soling coming and
yeah,
bro, what do I need to do? And I don't know, let's figure it out together. And then seeing, looking out, they're not my kids, and I didn't do anything for them other than be I got you. If there's anything I could ever go back to the fire service and do, it would be just give me a crew of volunteers who are trying to get hired, and let me grow them. Let me help grow them.
Hell yeah.
I feel like watching all of you guys be in these places, and that's the stuff I hang. My hat hangs on that stuff,
sure.
not my own accomplishments.
Absolutely.
And that has helped me be a better father. That's helped me pay attention to the things that I need to pay attention to.
Right.
Yep. I'm interested in your success, not mine.
Sure.
My success comes because you're successful, not vice versa.
Right. It's good leadership.
And it's hard to exist in a world where leadership is not understood. But it's growing me. It's fucking growing me, man. It's okay. It's good. Anyway, appreciate you being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure.
Open invitation all the time, obviously. I've filmed 4 episodes now. 2 of them are you. One of the episodes doesn't have sound. The other one I haven't edited with Amber yet, but yeah, I mean, but that's how it starts. You're helping this whole thing get into the right rhythm.
You gotta get Terrence on here.
Oh, that motherfucker. We were just texting. He's like, yeah, I want to come on. Well, tell me what day. And then I don't hear from him. Okay, I'm gonna nail him down. So, because he said after he watched the first episode, he's like, dude, I have so many things to say.
Bring him on.
All right, get on.
I want to hear it too.
Yeah, I was talking to Noah in the recorded session that didn't have sound. That it'd be cool, man, is to be let's have a round table of old Stillman folks. Just sit around and tell stories.
Dude, that'd be sweet.
I know.
And we need to get a truck back to do at the parade.
Oh, Yes.
Because I'm coming here
Look,
for 4th of July
40,
next year.
4811 is at the Pierce County Skill Center
I know that.
in out off Canyon Road. I feel like we could make that happen. I don't know where 4812 is, but I feel like it's around.
That's the one I want to
That's
find.
the parade engine.
Yeah.
Because that's the machine. That engine never let us down in any fire. 4811 was always in the shop. 4812 was always there to pump. 1974 Mac, like, do the job.
I drove that by myself one time to
Oh,
a
yeah.
call. I was like, dude, this is awesome.
Bro, I drove that thing. I used to, like, I'd go up to the station sometimes. And this was, I loved volunteering because you could just, like, back in the day, we'd go up to the station, like, I'd be, like, sitting at home, like, I'm bored. I'm going to go up to the station and drive a fucking fire engine around by myself for a little bit. Right?
Exactly.
I'd go up to the station and I'd drive 4812, but blow the carbon out. We'd drive it down Stillham DuPont Road all the time to, like, just
Yeah.
get it up and going.
Right.
So I went out there, it was like, I don't know, midnight or something, and I was just bored. Like, I'm driving 4812 down Stillham DuPont Road, and all of the electronics went out, all the lights went off, everything, and I'm like in the darkest part,
Oh my God.
right? And I'm like, what the hell?
That's scary.
Anyway, good times, good story. Love you, man.
Thanks.
Thanks for being here.
All right. See you on the next one.